Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening and come to you live from the National News Studio. Welcome to the news. My name is Clifford Richards.
And I'm Shara Mascarenhas. First, it's a look at the day's headlines.
The President requests once again from all groups to unite to build the country. A Gazette notification making common transport an essential service. Reduction in bus fares to become effective from midnight tonight. The number of fishermen killed due to drinking liquid in a bottle floating in the sea increases to 5. The wish of Minister Bandula and Shashi. The first round of voting in the French general election today. India clinches the T20 World Cup.
And moving on to the stories in detail, President Ranil Wickremesinghe requests all once again to join hands to build the country disregarding party colour differences.
He made this appeal participating in the Ekava Jayagamu Apimatara public rally today. This meeting was held at the Mahinda Wijesekara grounds in Matara under the leadership of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. It was organised by Minister Kanchana Wijesekara. MPs, ministers and party activists were among the large gathering attended the event.
Ranil Wickremesinghe මෙතුමාට මාතර ජනතාවට මට බාර දුන්නේ ටයිටැනික් නැව මන් දැන් එක වරායට
President Ranil Wickremesinghe has made a comparison of the present situation to the Titanic ship disaster. It was now brought to the harbour. In the ship, all the captains had fled in fear of the ice mountain. The ship was sinking at that moment. There was nobody to decide how the ship could be rescued. The president said the country is facing a similar situation at present. It has decided whether the country should be built in the next 50 or 100 years or act like the captains who deserted the Titanic. The president has also recalled how they have granted relief to the masses through the Aswasama program and tripling the Samuddi benefits. 2.4 million persons were given the relief instead of 1.6 million earmarked earlier. The low-income earners who were given 10 kilos rice each. A 10,000 rupee salary increase had been provided. Freehold deeds were given to every government servants having state lands. The president further said that next week they will hand over the ownership of apartments housing to low-income tenants in Colombo. This is not a government bent on shouting, but a government dedicated to achieve results. The president has pointed out the need to come out of bankruptcy. In order to do so, the government is engaged in discussions with the Western countries, Japan and India. On the other hand, talks are being conducted with China as well. Both sides have come into an agreement to help Sri Lanka. The president has expressed optimism on the successful outcome of the discussions. The president also said that he requested parliamentarian Harsha De Silva also to come for discussions. The president said that he is ready for them also to have the opportunity to talk with the IMF. The government is prepared to hand them air tickets and hotel accommodation in Washington City. The president also said that the decisions they take today will have an effect in the future. Therefore, he called upon all the work on behalf of the country. The president said that he does not care which party is in the cabinet. He also called on the Rajapaksas to join with them and to govern the next parliament. They will also have an understanding of how the country should be governed. They will also become future leaders. All must abide by the parliamentary decisions. The country should be before the self.
අපි මේකෙන් ඈත් වුණොත් කොහොමද අපි තනියම යන්නේ? අපි රට වෙනුවෙන් වැඩ කරමු. මම ඉන්න මේ ඇමති මණ්ඩලය කොයි පක්ෂයටදයිද කියලා අහන්න. මෙතන ඉන්නේ රට වෙනුවෙන් එකතු වුණේ අය. මම විපක්ෂයේ නායකවරුන්ට
President Ranil Wickremesinghe has issued a Gazette notification making common transportation services as an essential service. Well, this Gazette notification was released according to the powers vested upon the President under the Essential Public Services Act No. 61 of 1971. Accordingly, common transport used in passenger and cargo transport, railway passenger transport have been made essential services. Meanwhile, the All Ceylon Private Bus Owners Association says that the reduction of bus fares by 5% will come into force with effect from midnight tonight.
5 fishermen who drank liquid in a bottle floating on the sea have died due to poisoning. Navy media spokesman Captain Gayan Vikramasuriya says the sole survivor and a corpse of one of the victims were scheduled to be brought to the shore tomorrow. The 6 fishermen in the Devon 5 fishing craft had faced with an unexpected tragedy in the deep seas, 365 nautical miles from Dondra Point. 4 of the fishermen who consumed the poisonous liquid had died yesterday. The Vijay Bahu of the Sri Lanka Navy was dispatched to bring back the fatalities to the island. The operation is being conducted through the assistance of the Colombo Maritime Detection and the Rescue Coordinating Centre of the Navy headquarters. President Ranil Wickremesinghe declared a 25 million rupee allocation for the restoration of tanks in the Divisional Secretariat Division, which issues the highest number of deeds under the Urume Free Land Deeds program.
Well, President Ranil Wickremesinghe also outlined the plans for this extensive agricultural development as well, and that's of the Udavalava, Munragal and also Ampara and also the Mahaveli Sea Zone in the dry zone. Well, the President made these remarks while addressing the symbolic ceremony of the distribution of freehold land deeds to the beneficiaries in 11 Divisional Secretariat Divisions of the Munragal district under the Urumaya National Program. The ceremony took place at the Mahinda Rajapaksa Conference Hall in Vallabhai today, while approximately 600 out of 41,960 beneficiaries received their deeds. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that to foster the development of the Munragal district, they advocated for the provision of free land rights despite opposition and legal challenges. Today they have successfully granted these rights to the people. The vision is to transform Udavalava, Munragal, Ampara and the Mahaveli Sea Zone into a major agricultural hub within the dry zone. Through the Urumaya program, the President added that they not only provide land rights to farmers but also equip them with tools to increase their incomes. Looking ahead, the global demand for food is expected to grow significantly in the next 30 to 40 years. Minister of Ports and Shipping and Aviation Nimal Siripala De Silva says that it's worth noting that they are privileged to contribute to strengthening Ranil Wickremesinghe's programs. He's a visionary leader who has made tough decisions for the benefit of the country and its people. His innovative initiatives have been instrumental in this regard. After a lapse of 4 years, decentralized funds are now operational, catalyzing village development. It is important to highlight that his visionary and innovative leadership will bolster the economy.
මේක තමයි අපේ රටේ සුළු පිරිසක් එතුමාගේ නායකත්වයට දක්වපු අශිෂ්ට ප්‍රතිචාරය. නමුත් මේ රටේ ජනතාව වේදී බව බලකිරීමට අනාගතයේදී අවස්ථාවක් ලැබේ. ධාරකලේ වෙලාවේ
State Minister of Foreign Employment Promotion Jagat Pushpakumara says that today's issuance of deeds represents a legacy handed down to the children. It was under the President's directive that they extended free land deeds to a large number of individuals. During those challenging times, they faced shortage of gas and fuel, and agricultural operations stalled due to lack of fertilizer. Despite the crisis, there were no contenders stepping forward to take charge of the country's future. The State Minister added that they hold the President in high regard for this. State Minister of Irrigation Shashindra Rajapaksa says that the district plays a pivotal role with 60% of its produce distributed to other districts, a substantial contribution, he says. During his visit to grant land deeds in the Munragal district, the President interacted with residents, engaging them in friendly conversations as well.
National organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Namal Rajapaksa, says there is no future for the children of the country under politics based on hatred. He had made these remarks participating in the party's Kalaniya electorate meeting yesterday. The SLPP Kalaniya electorate meeting was organised by the chief organiser of the State Minister Prasanna Ranavira. A large group of party MPs has attended the meeting. Parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa said that there is no opportunity for the children in hate politics. The country needs a party with a program for the future well-being of the child and nurtured with policies respecting the indigenous qualities. Namal Rajapaksa further said they believe that there should be a party which protects the religion. He further stated that the debt restructuring has been accomplished today according to a program of the Cabinet of Ministers headed by the President. Loans were taken previously to develop the infrastructure facilities in the country. The country is unable to come out in the crisis if the loans taken anew is used for the consumption. Rajapaksa has also recalled that when they ended LTT terrorism, there was a group which was against this act. Some people ask even today why they are still talking about the war. The national organizer said that they early thought that only Ranasinghe Premadas had given guns to the LTTE. He added that he heard Pillian saying that another political party had given them arms for them to fight. He further said that an investigation has to be carried out regarding this statement. He also said that people of the country should be aware of the fact of certain party handing over arms to the LTTE.
Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says that despite the utterances of some of abolishing the agreements entered into with the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and several other countries, it has become obvious that the country could not be carried forward without the international support. The minister was addressing an event held in connection with vesting with the people of Sri Lanka several development projects in the Patha Hewa Hatta area recently. Declaring open the road between Mailapitiya and Kiulathan at a cost of 17 million rupees and commencing of reconstruction of the Mailapitiya Akkarapaha road at a cost of 5.5 million rupees had taken place on this occasion. A group including Minister Dilu Mamunagama was also present. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says that the breath of the people relies upon the fuel, medicine and the food being provided according to the agreement with IMF, which becomes valid till the year 2027. Debt restructuring accords have been signed with foreign countries regarding the loans to be repaid. Minister Gunawardena also said if any government thinks it could act according to its will without the cooperation of the Paris Aid Group, China, Japan, India, the maximum period such a government could operate is only 1 week. He added that therefore those who are unable to respect international accords or to comply with agreements with foreign countries will not be able to administer even a Pradeshya Sabha. Minister Gunawardena further said that it was only President Ranil Wickremesinghe who had shown a program by engaging in transactions with the foreign countries. Bandula Gunawardena also said that his personal opinion is that Ranil Wickremesinghe should become the common candidate who unifies the entire country.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe visited the St. Sebastian National Shrine in Kandana this afternoon to review its development activities yesterday. The St. Sebastian National Shrine in Kandana is one of the most frequently visited Catholic shrines in the Colombo Archdiocese, with its annual feast attracting more than 100,000 devotees from across the island. A long-standing request for the construction of a drainage system to manage water accumulation in the church and its surrounding areas has been made. The estimated cost for this project is 6 million rupees. The President presented a cheque for 2 million rupees representing the first phase of the funding for this project to the Administrator Parish Priest of St. Sebastian National Shrine, Reverend Father Lalit Expeditus. Additionally, the road leading from Negombo Road to St. Sebastian National Shrine is in a state of disrepair. In response to the request for its restoration, the President contacted the Minister of Transport, Highways and Mass Media, Bandula Gunawardena, and instructed him to arrange for an immediate repair of the road. Furthermore, the President, during discussions with the Reverend Fathers regarding the educational activities of the Catholic schools in Negombo region, emphasized the government's commitment to swiftly address the issues faced by these schools. In addition, the President inquired about the experiences of the Catholic visitors who attended the St. Sebastian Shrine over the weekend and engaged in friendly conversations with them.
Well, measures are underway to expand the services of the Medical Officer of Health Office in Nugegoda and its clinic. Accordingly, the office located at Delkanda Plaza on the high-level road has been shifted to Millagahawat in Nabala with extensive facilities, and the first stage of this new project was declared open recently. Well, a sum of 14.8 million rupees has been spent on the modernization of the first stage. Minister of Health and Industries Dr. Ramesh Patiruna presided over the inauguration ceremony, which was also attended by Marshal of the Air Force Roshan Gunathilaka and others. Minister Dr. Ramesh Patiruna says that every government, despite whatever problems prevailing in the country, had allocated more funds in the budget for health than in previous years. The minister has added that accordingly, the present government has also reserved 450 billion rupees for health this year as well. The amount to be spent on purchasing of drugs is 180 billion rupees, he says.
Minister of Foreign Affairs and President's Counsel Ali Sabri stated that the successful debt sustainability process with the bilateral creditors will provide Sri Lanka with an advantage of approximately $17 billion. The minister also stated that this situation will facilitate successful negotiations regarding international sovereign debts. Minister of Foreign Affairs Ali Sabri revealed this addressing the media briefing recently held at the Presidential Media Centre under the theme Collective Path to a Stable Country.
Sri Lanka announced a moratorium on servicing on foreign debt in April 2022. I happened to be the finance minister then. Some people interpret that we claim for bankruptcy. I don't agree with it. I didn't agree then. I don't agree now. Because if you are bankrupt, you will not pay anyone. You can't pay local debt. You can't pay multilateral debt. It's like it's a company in Sri Lanka. If you're bankrupt, it's not an ongoing concern. You close your shop, go for auction, get a receiver, and then sell everything and distribute the proceeds. Sri Lanka was never that. Sri Lanka decided strategically certain type of debt we will not pay. Other debt we will continue to pay. What were the debt we will continue to pay? We continue to pay the multilateral debts, IMF, World Bank, ADB, AIIB. We continue to service everything of the Sri Lankan, the local currency ones. But we decided we will not pay until we get our debt servicing ability back. A certain kind of debt, that is bilaterals and the sovereign bonds. That's why we suspended those two. Now, if you suspend that, what is the next course of action? You need to have a proper debt sustainable analysis. We call it a DSA. That is, you have to look at all the parameters for the future and see that what should be your income, what should be the portion of that income goes for your capital expenditure, your recurrent expenditure, your payment of interest, your payment of capital, of the interest what you take. And then, can you prepare, or you prepare, me prepare? No, we all get together and prepare that. Who helped Sri Lanka for that? IMF. IMF came out with something called the IMF Debt Sustainable Analysis, according to which they have given us parameters. This should be the total amount of Sri Lankan debt as a percentage of GDP by 2028. How many percentage of which should be allocated for service of interest, recurrent expenditure. So we work very diligently with the IMF, and we appointed two of the most world's famous professional firms, Lazard to carry out financial advising part, and Clifford Chance to carry out our legal advising job. So with their advice, a group of professionals from the Monetary Board, Central Bank, and the Ministry of Finance diligently negotiated this for a long period of time. And this has three components and three stages. Firstly, the debt restructuring of the local debt. which we have done and dusted last year. It went before the Parliament and Parliament approved it. Second portion is the bilateral debt, which we have concluded now. Then going forward, we have one more negotiations are ongoing on the sovereign debt restructuring, that bond restructuring. That's at an advanced stage. We are very hopeful that it has to be also in line with the IMF debt sustainable analysis. Nothing beyond that. They will not approve it. Without IMF approving it, we will also not agree on that. So therefore, nothing to worry on that. Ultimately, we will achieve the target what we want to achieve on that. So if all that happens, Sri Lanka will regain its ability and start repaying the debt. So this is a great steps towards that. And I know the whole world is applauding for diligently doing it within a period of 2 years of time. But in local terms, I know people come out with various explanations to find fault with it. That's okay. That's how politics is. Otherwise, there is no fun also. Opposition is there to criticize it. But we have now achieved great milestones. 3 things. One is done and dusted last year, that is local debt restructuring. Second part is this we have now. We will today at the Parliament in the morning we decided that this matter will be debated on the 2nd and 3rd of this month. All the documents will be presented there.
The news on national television, and we have more local stories. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that an era of confidence has been established in the country, and that is by ending of the period of misapprehension. And he has made these observations while he was participating in the Ratnapura district ceremony to present appointments, that's to the employees who have been made permanent in their jobs in the local government institutions. Well, the Sabaragamuwa province program was conducted in parallel to the national program of making permanent of employees engaged in duties in the capacities of casual, substitute and contract temporary and relief basis in local government institutions. 8,453 in the relevant institutions have been given permanent appointments at a ceremony held at the Ratnapura Provincial Council Auditorium. And the Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund are instructing them not to grant leave to the workers but to engage in the process to reduce the number of employees. He added that, however, they have not become a country which will evict employees from their jobs by adhering to such advice in the past 2 years. Even if there was such a proposal, Sri Lanka would have been able to follow its own program towards waving off such threats. The Prime Minister further says that the government has paid salaries to the state sector employees appropriately and on time, enabling them to engage in the duties in a correct manner. He also said that the relevant salaries have also been paid to the pensioners as well. He has added that this is the difference that they want to show to the others as well. Well, moving on to more stories. The EV Motor Show 2024, which was a great attraction, and that is the electric motor car exhibition, ends today. And that's at the Bandaranaike Conference Hall premises.
And this exhibition is considered as the first of its, first ever largest electric motor car exhibition held in the country. The Ministries of Transport and Highways and Mass Communication along with the Asia Exhibition Institute have jointly collaborated in holding the EV Motor Show 2024. The 3-day exhibition, which commenced last Friday, has demonstrated the visitors of the exhibition of an innovative and speedy development in the motor car industry. A large group of specialists representing the local motor car field have also participated in the event. It is exhibited motor cars as well as motor car accessories. The organizers say the exhibition has been an invaluable opportunity for all those interested in motor car sector.
And moving on to more local news in brief. The Poson Perahara, organized for the 60th occasion by the Purana Vihare in Homagama. And before we move on to that, a Tourism Information and Communication Center was declared open at the Palali International Airport in Jaffna yesterday. in the presence of the governor of the Northern Province, PSM Charles, and that is to increase the number of foreign tourists arriving in Jaffna. And also, we are moving on with more local stories. The Posan Perahara that is organized for the 60th occasion in the Purana Sri Mahavihare in Homagama paraded the streets last night, and it was highlighting with upcountry traditions as well. Well, that's the news at home. We take a short break and we'll be back with international stories shortly.
உங்களுக்கு ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் வந்திருக்கே.
பரவாயில்ல சார், பிள்ளைகள் தானே.
டீச்சரும் போடுவீங்க.
உன்னதமான இலக்குகளை மனதில் கொண்டு நீங்கள் எடுக்கும் சரியான முடிவுகள் உங்களையும் நாட்டையும் பெருமையடைய செய்யும். நாங்கள் உங்கள் பெருமையின் அங்கமான மக்கள் வங்கி, தேசத்தின் பெருமை.
Welcome back. Moving on to international stories. Well, people in France have voted the first phase to elect 577 members of the country's National Assembly.
President Emmanuel Macron called for the snap parliamentary election after his alliance suffered a heavy defeat to the far-right National Rally Party at the European Parliament elections on the 9th of June. Across France, early turnout figures are higher than in 2022 legislative votes at 25.9% by midday compared with the 18.43% 2 years ago, according to the Interior Ministry. About 49.3 million people are registered as voters. The National Assembly, the lower house of parliament, has 577 seats. These represent electoral districts including overseas departments and constituency representing expats. Candidates with the majority of votes in their constituency are elected in the first round. It's celebrations for India as they have been successful to win the T20 World Cup after 17 years.
Well, in fact, the team beating the South African team by 7 runs in the finals played at the Barbacoas Kensington Oval in the West Indies yesterday. And a special feature upon securing victory was that declarations made by the captain of the Indian team, Rohit Sharma, and also the super batsman Virat Kohli regarding the retirement from the T20 cricket. Well, India decided to bat first after winning the toss. Accordingly, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli came to the field as openers, but the South African bowlers were able to capture the first 3 Indian wickets for just 34. Entertainment than that. And on that note, we end the news together with Sharon. This is Clifford wishing you a good night.